All you gotta do is chill out. Anytime you feel negative emotion, stop and say, something is important here, otherwise I would not be feeling this negative emotion. What is it that I want? And then simply turn your attention to what you do want. In the moment that you turn your attention to what you want, the negative attraction will stop, and in the moment the negative attraction stops, the positive attraction will begin. And in that moment, your feelings will change from not feeling good to feeling good. Appreciation in advance brings everything you want. Be happy in anticipation of what's coming. By choosing better feeling thoughts and by speaking more of what you do want and less of what you don't want, you will gently tune yourself to the frequency of your broader perspective. To see your world through the eyes of Source is truly the most spectacular view of life, for from that point, you are in alignment with, and therefore in the process of attracting, only what you would consider to be the very best of your world. Get into the vortex and then, if you intend to be of assistance, your eye is not upon the trouble but upon the assistance, and that is quite different. When you are looking for a solution, you are feeling positive emotion, but when you are looking at a problem, you are feeling negative emotion. It is the way you feel that is your point of attraction. It's not about action. It's about alignment. It's not your work to make anything happen. It's your work to dream it and let it happen. Law of attraction will make it happen. In your joy, you create something and then you maintain your harmony with it, and the universe must find a way to bring it about. Look for good things about where you are, and in your state of appreciation, you lift all self-imposed limitations, and all limitations are self-imposed, and you free yourself for the receiving of wonderful things. It is not your role to make others happy, it is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-empowering thoughts that align with who you really are, you will offer an example of thriving that will be of tremendous value to those who have the benefit of observing you. Take the time to line up the energy first, and action becomes inconsequential. If you don't take the time to line up the energy, if you don't find the feeling place of what you're looking for, not enough action in the world will make any difference. The law of attraction is most understood when you see yourself as a magnet getting more and more of the way you feel. There is a life stream that flows to you, and this is a stream of clarity, a stream of wellness, a stream of abundance, and in any moment, you are allowing it or not. What someone else does with the stream, or not, does not have anything to do with how much of it will be left for you. There is nothing for you to go back and live over, or fix, or feel regret about now. Every part of your life has unfolded just right. Whatever you are giving your attention to already has its own, and as you give your attention to it, you include its vibration in your vibration. And then your point of attraction is affected. When you ask, it is given, but at some point you have to stop. From New Delhi, India. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My journey with The Secret began around 3 years back, when I was introduced to this amazing book by my bestie. I used it to achieve some small stuff, but honestly I was a bit skeptical, and often used to consider the achievements as coincidences or meant to be happen things. Around last year, I found this amazing website, and started reading the true stories, and relating the courses of incidences happening in their lives to my own. My faith started growing, and I started following the magic practices every day, and watched The Secret movie. And behold, the magic began. I manifested so many small things, using the magic wand. Examples are, getting the seat in metro, catching the bus just in time, and numerous other things. Having almost complete faith by now, I decided to apply the formula to get a new job. I started reading stories related to jobs, and found a very distinct tip by some fellow story poster. To get a new job, appreciate as many things about your current job as you can. I felt as if this was the key, and started making a list of good things about my current job every day. Long story short, Undoubtedly I got my new job, and at a salary higher than my expectations. There was a long gap between my interview and my final call for the job. At times, I used to get doubtful about my selection, but yet again, the secret stories gave me the key to let go. Just make your wish and release it to the universe. So the day I totally forgot about the interview results, I got the call. I just wish this story helps you in believing and achieving. Thank you for listening. A guaranteed true story. I stumbled across the law of attraction quite some years ago at a very low ebb in my life, and began to realize how I was creating my own reality, so I turned the situation around to create the life I did want. Having knowledge of the law of attraction, one way to attract money into your life is to write yourself a check for an amount of money you wish to receive and imagine yourself receiving that amount. I wrote myself out a check for £50,000 and dated it reasonably. £50,000 was not enough to cover my needs, but it was an amount I could feel myself acquiring. I kept the check on my bedside cabinet and looked at it often. To my disappointment, when the date came, I had not received a penny of the £50,000. I changed the date on the check for exactly 1 year later, and the same month of May. After a while the check got pushed into the drawer of the cabinet and forgotten about for quite some time, until I was searching for something in the drawer and came across the check again amongst other papers. Once again I placed it on top of the bedside cabinet in view. An amount of money was due to me from a negligence case, which could have been as little as £15,000 compensation. I received a check in the post for £32,500. I was disappointed as this amount did not cover the cost I had to pay out to correct the negligence or any extra amount for pain and suffering, British law. But it was better than £15,000 I was informed I could have received. 6 months later in May, the exact same date on the check, a letter arrived in the post demanding my signature for an interest-bearing loan I had taken out as a mortgage 16 years previous. The company had lost the paperwork with my agreement to pay interest on the mortgage loan, and they could not charge me the interest for the 16 years without my signature of agreement. I was offered to pay back the outstanding money from the original loan amount without any interest of 16 years, and save myself 16 years interest, which would have amounted to £18,000. This was in May, the same date and year dated on the check I wrote to myself. I had acquired the £50,000 written on the check. I now have another 2 checks written to myself sitting on top of my bedside cabinet. One for £100,000 and another for £250,000. I have written 2 books, my passion, ready to be self-published, and a 3rd book near completion. I am just waiting patiently for the money to arrive. I am in the UK. I worked as an interior designer for many years and have a strong passion for writing. I attended Mike Dooley's seminar in London 1 year ago. Brilliant stuff. I have been a believer of the law of attraction for quite some years before The Secret, which is an amazing production. Everything is possible, nothing is impossible. By Shayla from Pennsylvania. I've known The Secret for a year, and I have been practicing it for a solid 4 months. I love how it lines up with everything God says. To make a long story very short and to the point, I wanted a home-based business so that I could stay home with my children. I attracted that. Now I'm making thousands a month and being with my kids. I attracted a mini refrigerator for my room for free, a toddler bed for my daughter for free, cookbooks, websites, clients, a lottery ticket win. What I did was write down a list of things, and yeah, at first I had doubts. But then once I realized how much God loves me and how my desires and prosperity are important to Him, I stopped doubting. And then things flowed to me. And I celebrate every step that gets me closer to what I have on my list. I still have things on my list, such as the car that I want. But if I just come across a picture of it or see it in a car lot, I celebrate that, because that has manifested because of God and myself. So please believe in the power of the law of attraction and use it to the best of your ability. Give your desires positive attention. Read about it, write about it, talk about it, pray about it, think about it, celebrate it. I have a few more things that are manifesting now. $50,000, a black Dodge Charger with black rims, a town and country van with swivel and ghost seating and TVs and DVD players, a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home, with beautiful views, and a 7-day retreat vacation in Hawaii, with my best friend. See, I'm letting you know what I intend and at the same time giving my desired positive attention. Happy manifesting. About Shayla from Pennsylvania, mother of 2, performer, choreographer, successful business owner, and deliberate creator. Story by Valerie. From St. Louis. A co-worker introduced to me The Secret. I listened, and it really got my attention. I finally found the video on DVD, bought it and watched it several times. I was fascinated by the information and the knowledge presented by the scholars. I've always been a person to respect and admire those who are of high intelligence. I shared the video with my life partner and we both decided to test The Secret. We did little manifestations at first. How exciting! Then we went big. He with the dollar bill, which he added zeros to make it $100,000 and taped it to the ceiling. I went the universal check for $240,000. We didn't know how it would manifest itself, but we put it out there. His came faster than mine. Within a couple of weeks, a business card to purchase business equipment came in the mail with exactly $100,000 credit line. He was in disbelief and still hasn't used it. It's legit. This week, a couple of months later, we received word that our home is being refinanced for $246,000 and over $25,000 in debt we both had accumulated will be paid off, plus the mortgage payment would be a whole lot less. Is it a coincidence? This may not seem like a lot to some, but it is a lot to us. All I can say is wow. I'm putting out there now that my book, The Singer, will get big distribution and become a #1 seller, and my next royalty check will be $1 million. About Valerie W. from St. Louis, business occupations include clerical, secretarial, account assistant positions within companies. I am also a published book and songwriter, sing and play music for enjoyment and produce talent shows when possible. I also run several online businesses. I am Lee from Queensland, Australia. Since discovering the law of attraction, so many amazing things have happened in my life. I'll tell you a couple of the most amazing ones, which I still can't believe today. Firstly, I was in my final year of high school last year, and I used to get pretty good marks. I struggled a bit as it got more stressful, and I had too many things to think about. I decided to use the law of attraction to help with my studies and being less stressed. I had little notes stuck around my house in spots where I'd see them every day. I used to visualize and feel how happy I would be once I received my final high school results. Well, they came. I got an OP1, which is the highest mark possible in Queensland. I am stoked. The law of attraction really works. I still know that I achieved this through using the law of attraction, because I'm not a genius. I just believed in myself. Secondly, I've always wanted to volunteer and go overseas and help in less fortunate countries. This has been a passion and a goal of mine since I was little. I started looking into how I could make this possible, and realized that it actually costs quite a bit to go overseas with a volunteer company. I found one that I really liked though, and I was determined to come up with the money. Suddenly I was directed to this award, which is given to 3 students in all of Australia every year, which comes with $5,000 to fund an international volunteer trip with a company of your choice. It was complete use of the law of attraction that directed me to this award, and which eventually resulted in me winning. I'm going overseas for 3 months next year with this money to finally do what I've always wanted to do. And lastly, I've always wanted to go to university. I knew that my academic results would let me go, but I wasn't sure how I would pay for it. My brother received a scholarship a couple of years previously, and I knew that this was an awesome way to go. So, knowing how wonderfully the secret works, I began to visualize having a $30,000 scholarship. I made a fake certificate and stuck it on my wall. I got my first call for a $20,000 scholarship about 2 weeks after my high school results came out. The second one came about a month later for $10,000. I didn't even realize at first that I had received my $30,000. I'm now living happily without financial worries and doing well with my university degree. Using the principles of the secret has changed my life. I'm only 17, and I'm so grateful that I have this knowledge and power now. Thank you. About Emily from Queensland, Australia. I'm 17 years old and in my first year at university. And I'm loving life. By Maha from Kenai. How my life changed after using the law of attraction is amazing. I have applied the secret for the past 5 months and have attracted many great things in my life. Universe is amazing. It really hears your request and responds to you. I was out of my project and I don't know why I never got a project. I gave many interview calls, but for some reason I was not selected. Till now I could not figure out the reason. At this point in time I came to know about the secret and thought of attracting a favorite brand account. I made vision boards, affirmations, and always tried to be positive. I made a particular date and asked Universe that I should have that particular brand account on that particular date. I visualized and sent gratitude to Universe. I did this for 1 month. Nothing happened. My friends forced me to take a project in Mumbai even though I'm from Kenai. It was really difficult for me to stay positive at that time, and I just wondered why Universe is not answering me. Where did I go wrong? My situation became worse. I got mails and calls, and felt pressured to take up a project in Mumbai. I just made my mind to take up that project, and I joined that project in Mumbai. I did not know when I went there, but some problem happened over there and they did not provide confirmation for me in that project. The client did not approve my profile even though he agreed on me previously. Even the higher officer did not understand why my profile got rejected there. At this juncture, out of the blue, I received a call from my friend telling me that there is an opening for me in her account and asked if I would join her. It was really a very great opportunity and it's a brand account. It was even better than the one I wished and asked the universe for. I just thanked Universe and joined my friend's account easily, without an interview, verification or reference. Now I am working in a better account along with my best friend, at a better timing at the location I had wished for, Kenai. Everything is even better than I wished for. So people who are believing, follow these steps. 1. Ask. 2. Believe. Universe is friendly, benevolent and there for you always. 3. Receive. Send gratitude to Universe. 4. Let it go. Surrender. A very important step in manifesting. Don't give more thoughts on it. Release it to Universe. That is about trust. I think I did not let go at first, which is why it took a longer time for my manifestation. By Regina MacDonald from London, United Kingdom. I am so happy and excited to finally share my story with the world. Where do I start? 1 year ago, I was sitting in the chair at my hairdresser's, getting my hair cut. I had just completed a 10-week business course in which I had gained my certificate in small business management. I said to my hairdresser, "What next? What do I do now?" I had started a small cupcake business run from home and I was feeling a bit overwhelmed with how to make my business grow. Then she suggested I read the book The Secret. I had heard about this book before and was invited to read it a few years ago by a friend, but I guess I wasn't ready for it then. I rang up the same friend on my way home and said, "Do you still have that book and can I borrow it?" On my way home I collected the book and that night I finished reading it. It was from that day forward that my life started to change. I followed the steps from the book. I sat and wrote down everything that I wanted to achieve, who I wanted to become and where I wanted to be. I started to feel truly thankful for all that I had. I had never done this before. I was always worried about money, stressed about work, and I had even suffered from severe anxiety earlier on that year. I started to focus on what I had, rather than what I didn't have. I created a vision board, a big one, and I placed it in my room where I could see it every day, so when I woke up, I knew exactly what I wanted. I started to experience the law of attraction. I became so obsessed with it that I was given the magic. One of my clients gave me the secret film, and I went and bought The Power of Now. I started studying the successful people, listening to motivational clips and downloading quotes, and using them as my phone screensaver. I couldn't get enough. Life was good. I had put on my vision board that I wanted to become a well-known food icon. My business started to take off. I was baking more and more. After writing to numerous food magazines, I was finally featured in one. I had put this on my vision board. I wanted to meet one of my favorite food icons, Maggie Beer. I wrote to her, and fondly enough, I received a phone call from her. A few weeks later, I started to share with my friends and family the power of positive thinking. I was achieving all my goals through asking, believing, and receiving. I had always taught myself to bake, and one day I said to myself, imagine what I could do if I had world-class qualifications. One night on the computer, whilst replying to emails, a little advertisement popped up on the right-hand side about scholarships. There it was, the law of attraction happening again. What you think about, you bring about. They were offering a 3-month basic scholarship in London. I just knew this was for me. The day I sent off my application, I went home and packed my suitcase. For 3 months I planned and I packed. I told everyone that I was going to receive this scholarship being awarded to one person worldwide. I didn't let anyone disturb my inner vision or belief. I even wrote into my local radio station, who was running a competition at the time called Write Your Own Check. I said, could I please write my own check for $200 because I am going to win a scholarship to go to London and I need the money for my passport. 2 weeks later the radio station phoned me up and I had won the money. I was planning for success. I had trained my subconscious mind to believe I had already won the scholarship and the universe was finding ways to deliver. 3 months later, I received an email from the Culinary Trust in America saying that yes, I had been awarded the scholarship. I was going to London. My article was in the papers. I even volunteered as a speaker in schools to share my story with students to help inspire them to follow their bliss no matter how big or small their dream was. Here I am in London, an ordinary young woman with extraordinary dreams. All the way from Australia, I flew 21 hours across the globe to follow my dream, and I am finally here. I finished my studies in December, and now I am working in one of Jason's restaurants. I have an internship at Food and Travel magazine, work experience at River Cottage, and in the middle of writing my own book. I even won Young Talent of the Year. When I had found out that I had been nominated, I wrote a thank you speech and sent it to my mum to read out at the awards ceremony. I was thankful that I had won, even before I knew. Planning for success, allowing no room for failure, all of which I had put on my vision board. My vision board came with me. I add to it every week, and surely enough the universe guides me in the right direction. I don't have a lot of money in the bank yet, nor did I have any qualifications as a chef up until now. What I did, and do have, is the secret. 2013 was the year that changed my life, and set the foundation for 2014. I am thankful each day for everything that I have in my life, and for everyone that has helped me get to where I am now. I will represent possibility, that anything is possible, if we just believe. I will become a well-known food icon, author and motivational speaker. What I have learned is to follow my heart. Follow what excites you. Listen to your intuition. It somehow already knows what you want. Steve Jobs. Believe in coincidences. They happen for a reason. And pass on what you know to others, so that they too can achieve their dreams. Thank you. About Regina MacDonald from London, United Kingdom. I am a 24-year-old aspiring chef with the dream of becoming a well-known food icon and author. If we were talking to you on your first day here, we would say, "Welcome to planet Earth. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And your work here, your lifetime career is to seek joy. If you know life is supposed to be fun, you know more than almost anybody else knows. If you're not selfish enough to want to feel good, then you can't connect with the energy that is your source, which always feel good. Mining the moment for something that feels good, something to appreciate, something to savor, something to take in, that's what your moments are about. My path is about joy. People say, if I'm always setting goals and reaching for the future, then am I not squandering my now? And we say, if in your now, you are using a future event to make you feel good, you are still feeling good in your now. And that's the best use of now that you could ever find. The discipline that we would like you to exercise is to make a decision that nothing is more important than that you feel good, and that you are going to find thoughts that feel better. The main event has never been the manifestation. The main event has always been the way you feel, moment by moment, because that's what life is. Positive words on feeling good from Abraham Hicks. The purpose of your life is joy. The standard of success in life isn't the things. It isn't the money or the stuff. It is absolutely the amount of joy that you feel. Use any excuse you can use to feel good and watch what happens. Whenever you are feeling less than good, if you will stop and say, nothing is more important than that I feel good, I want to find a reason now to feel good, you will find an improved thought. You are born uplifters, but you cannot uplift unless you are in the vortex, and your mood is your indication of whether you are. Anytime you have physical discomfort of any kind, whether you call it emotional or physical pain within your body, it always means the same thing. I have a desire that is summoning energy, but I have a belief that is not allowing, so I've created resistance in my body. The solution, every single time, to the releasing of discomfort and pain is the relaxation and the reaching for the feeling of relief. Someone asked us recently, is there any limitation to the body's ability to heal? And we said, none, other than the belief that you hold. And he said, then why aren't people growing new limbs? And we said, because no one believes that they can. What you are living is the evidence of what you are thinking and feeling, every single time. Why is your economy more today than in the past? Because human desire has summoned and created. Where is this well-being coming from? What is the economy? The economy is the exchange of human energy. It expands proportionate to the ideas or desires that you create. Abraham Workshop, Boston, October the 11th, 1998. When you finally get it that the universe is only answering your vibration, then you understand that if you're a victim to anything, it's only your offering of vibration. The real desire that is being born within you is, I want to vibrate on purpose. I want to set my tone. I want to conclude and decide and offer it consistently and then watch the results of it. You cannot get it done, ever, and you cannot get it wrong. So you might as well relax and start having fun with this. There are no choices that are really a detour that will take you far from where you're wanting to be, because your inner being is always guiding you to the next, and the next, and the next. So don't be concerned that you may make a fatal choice, because there aren't any of those. You are always finding your balance. It's a never-ending process. Abraham. The only thing that makes the difference in the way you feel right now is the thought that you are thinking right now. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. There are joyful people with no money, and there are unhappy people with lots of money. How you feel is about how you are allowing the source that is you to flow. So when we talk about the art of allowing, we're talking about the art of living. about the art of thriving, about the art of clarity. We're talking about the art of being who you really are, thanks to Abraham. The amount of time it takes you to get from where you are to where you want to be is only the amount of time it takes you to change the vibration within you. Instant manifestation could be yours if you could instantly change the vibration. Abraham Workshop, San Diego, August the 23rd, 2003. Make up your mind that nothing is more important than how I feel now, because now is everything. Now is the whole enchilada. Now is the power of me. Now. You might as well start somewhere, and it might as well be now. Why not start improving your life now? Abraham Workshop in Tarrytown, October the 9th, 2004. Life will always be working out for me. I like understanding that things are always evolving, and while there are many things that could be better where I am, it is not really a problem because where I am is constantly changing to something better. I like knowing that as I look for the best things around me where I am, those things become more prevalent in my experience. It is fun to know that things are always working out for me, and as I watch for the evidence of that, I see more evidence of that every day. Abraham. If there is no source of illness, why are there so many sick people? It is because they have found lots of excuses to hold themselves in vibration discord with wellness. They are not letting it in. And when they don't let it in, the absence of it looks like sickness. And when enough of them do it, you say, oh, there must be a source of sickness. In fact, let's give it a label. Let's call it cancer. Let's call it AIDS. Let's call it all kinds of terrible things, and let's imply that it jumps into people's experience. And we say it never jumps into anybody's experience. It's just that people learn through trial and error, and through banging around with each other patterns of thought that don't let it in. Quote from Abraham. Thank you for listening, and until next time.